I'm saying, what is the top three Neil Young albums? And of course, you can include Buffalo Springfield.
Okay.
You can include Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Four-Way Street, Deja Vu, whatever.
Everybody knows This Is Nowhere. I'm going to take that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also have Crosby, Stills, and Nash's Deja Vu. I'll take that as well.
So, you're picking Buffalo Springfield's first album.
Yes.
Then
Deja Vu.
Everyone knows This Is Nowhere.
Right.
Yeah. And then you're choosing Deja Vu.
Deja Vu, correct.
All right. So well-balanced choice there, Royce. What about you, Nick?
I do have a 1973 first press self-titled Buffalo Springfield, which goes back a while. It's in great shape. I enjoy that. But for my list, in no particular order, I'd have to go with Deja Vu, Harvest, and here's one for you, Michael. Rust Never Sleeps.
Yeah, Roy, folks, me and Nick were talking before the show. That's one of the albums that is not one of my particular favorite Neil Young albums, but I fully recognize it's on a lot of people's list. Highly rated album by many. So good choice. Right, good choice. Right. What about you, Chris?
Oh, okay. I was starting to think I wasn't even up here. All right. Well, my favorite by far is Harvest. I used to play that all the time when I was 16 and 17. I spent 2 summers up in Stokes Bay, Ontario with my grandfather, and I had that CD or that cassette, Harvest, and Rod Stewart's A Gasoline Alley that I played back to back almost all the time.
Yeah.
So that, Deja Vu, Live Rust, and the Mirror Ball album. Of course, I don't know where the hell the CD is. I got the booklet, but I don't know where the damn CD is.
Right.
I have a few of those.
But also, the one I listen to the most is probably the collection Decade. It was a three record set. It's on 2 CDs here. It was up. They put it out in 1977, and it's got like 34 songs on it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
nice catalog.
Wow. I was asking Dawson, what would be your top 3?
My top 3 would be Deja Vu, and then Harvest, and then which one is the Crazy Horse albums? We have everyone knows This Is Nowhere. Is it Zuma that's next, or which one's next?
I'm not sure which one's next, but Rust Never Sleeps is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably say Zuma. Yeah, I like that. That's early grunge. Basically,
early grunge. Okay, right on.
I played that just over and over again yesterday.
Yeah.
And to continue on the story, I think that is true because when Neil Young's Special Car, if you look at the song "Long May You Run," some of those lyrics are based off of that car and that experience. So if you listen to "Long May You Run," they capture that story in a song.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah.
What about Johnny? What about Johnny?
Johnny,
what?
Listen, I have to be honest, and I feel guilty because I'm Canadian, and all I have really is this. I like some of his songs. I wasn't really into grunge really that much, but I like some of his songs. Like what do you call it?
Did you like Cinnamon Girl?
Yeah, I like Cinnamon Girl and A Heart of Gold and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right?
Heart of Gold. I like that.
This is the only one I have really.
How about Down by the River? I'm sure you've heard Down by the River.
Yeah, I heard all those, but I can't make a comment on the albums, which one is best, because I really don't have a collection of them, which now I feel guilty because, but you know what? To be on the safe side, I'll go by whatever you guys say. whatever you pick, I'll go for it.
Can I add something about Neil? That
absolutely.
Yeah, I found that I've never been a quote-unquote huge fan of Neil Young that I knew of, but yet it seems that throughout my early memories of music and through the years, that Neil's always been there. he pops up in the different places at different times with different music, and he's been
that's
part
right.
of the fabric of who we are. I think. Not that he's the greatest in the world or a lowly artist. He's been a consistently very, very good artist, but he's never been that outward personality. But he's part of the fabric of what makes up this genre.
Well, I consider him, based on what you were saying, Nick, I consider Neil Young to be the songwriter version of Eric Clapton. They're both vagabonds that you can't tie them down to any one particular group or project. They just have this I must go further spirit. Now, I was going to say, if I picked my three, I have to kind of go in from two different points of view that you all kind of came in on. First of all, Buffalo Springfield, yeah, I liked them, but I liked them for Stephen Stills more so than I liked them for Neil Young. And I've said this before on the channel. I much prefer Crosby, Stills, and Nash to Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, although Deja Vu is a masterpiece. And that was lightning in a bottle, but I prefer the Crosby, Stills, and Nash album over even that one. So with that in mind, and the fact that I prefer Neil Young, like I also prefer my Peter Gabriel. I don't like Peter Gabriel in Genesis, but I like him as a single artist far more than I like Phil Collins as a single artist, but I love Phil Collins in Genesis. So with all of that in mind, I like and love Neil Young, the songwriter, the solo songwriter. And so to me, my top albums would be a fight for third, would be After the Gold Rush and Comes the Time. I have to give it to After the Gold Rush. All right. Number two for me would be everyone knows it. This is Nowhere. Okay, it's a masterpiece and the best deal I ever bought. But his Abbey Road, folks, his Abbey Road is Harvest.
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 This is one of those albums, the production and yet the down and dirty sounds of some tracks and the lushness of orchestration. It is his what does Charlotte call that? My magnus opus. It is his great work. That's why he bothered to make Harvest Moon, which I don't think is as good an album, but it's a very good album. And when you look at them both, you've got a kind of a complete snapshot of that type of Neil Young songwriting approach. And it's those approaches I like. Now, I had to give the third spot to, what do you call it? What was the album that I gave After the Gold Rush. But Comes a Time, that album is Neil Young just writing songs, as a professional songwriter. Nicolette Larson got a hit off of it when she sang It Takes a Lot of Love, or whatever that was called, So she had a number one hit from the song. And as wonderful as that hit was, my favorite version is the Neil Young version off of Comes a Time.